There are probably three incredibly effective and important aspects of our lives that we can focus on that result in the best health outcome. So what I mean by that, there are order problems that we can address, that we can put effort into. And the top three, the top five are likely going to give us the best results. So for example, if I focus my mind, my energy, my focus on mental and mindful actions and behaviors, it's much more likely that the habits that I can form are going to be positive and successful. So there is this aspect of emotional well-being, mental health, and mindfulness, or just being aware and present when it comes to our thoughts and how we feel. The second one is activity and movement. Some will call it exercise, some will call it weightlifting, some will call it aerobic capacity, different zone levels of exercise. And the important part of this is if I'm active, I'm doing so much for my circulation, for the chemicals that I need, for my brain to function properly, for my mood to be good, for my metabolism to function the way it should, for my endocrine system to be at its best. And that has more to do with just being active, doing things physically. Even me just moving my arms around here is an activity level, versus trying to say, how can I make it to the gym every single day of the week? It's much less likely for that second order problem, making it to the gym every single week, to be successful than it is the first order problem, which is how can I just be active? How can I incorporate more movement throughout my day? Maybe I can wash the dishes by hand. I know that some of my clients, especially those who travel a lot, they'll do their own laundry by hand because they really feel a sense of connection, a sense of activity and movement. Of course, that's much more difficult if you have a busy family, but the idea is that I'm doing something physical in the house. I'm rearranging furniture, I'm decorating, I'm vacuuming something by hand, I'm using a dustpan, old school style, I'm cooking and chopping. There's movement, there is activity. And the last one we're going to get to is kind of nutrition. Call it gut health, call it diet, specific vitamins and supplements that either you're adding to your diet or you're making sure that you're getting enough of. This is a first order problem or a first order issue to address because anything I do in my nutrition is likely going to have a lot of downstream effects. So why do I mention these three things? Why do I mention mental and emotional well-being, activity, and diet or nutrition? The reason is that these are not things that we have any medications for yet. These are not things that we can properly test for with biomarkers. We can get DEXA scans and blood tests and VO2 max and other kind of tests, but they're not going to be the best reflection. And in the end, they're going to still take us back to, hey, I got to focus on my emotional well-being, my mental health, my activity levels, and my nutrition. So every time somebody comes to my practice and we're about to start some sort of regimen to make sure that they have a really healthy routine in place, we always go back to the basics. What is your emotional, mental activity level like? What are you doing on a daily, weekly basis to address that? First level. What's your activity level? How do you make sure that you're getting enough activity throughout the day, regardless of how sedentary your tasks and your job and your life is? Also a first order problem. And then another first order problem is nutrition. What choices are you making every day in regards to nutrition? Even if it's a minor choice, it has a huge downstream effect and will result in incredible positive outcomes in the future. So I hope that this is giving you an idea of how I address health, aging well, making sure that we prevent chronic diseases, and achieving well-being long into our old lives. If you have any questions, leave your comments below. Check out drashori.com. Take care.